So have you ever taken time to develop your own personal mission statement? If you haven't, I can't encourage you enough. I'll share a little bit about my journey and what my personal mission statement is. Everybody, Brad Stevens here, learning on the run, sharing tips and tricks from books and podcasts. I'm getting some exercise, and those endorphin hits are running, typically when great things kind of come out of my brain and things I'm trying to solve. And we'll listen to podcasts just talking about, getting clarity of who you are and where you're going. And, we're all constantly, that's an evolving process. But a couple of years ago on a forum retreat with EO Entrepreneurs Organization, a guy named Finney and Kelly, with a group of other entrepreneurs, we did this exercise called the Intentionality Compass. And for about an hour, every single morning for 2 weeks, would go through this exercise. Everything from sheets of paper with words all over. You had to circle words that people say about you typically through your life, or things you knew about yourself, and other kind of exercises we would do. And the net result of all of it came out with this statement for me, right? To live a disciplined life of creation, connection, and learning to help myself and others realize our full potential, right? I know it's a mouthful, but it's also just kind of reflective of who I am, right? I kind of pack a lot into life, right? So a disciplined life, I'm all about discipline. Everybody's always said that about me in terms of my focus and work ethic, right? Not working yourself into the ground, but just being disciplined and intentional, right? Probably why I connect with Jim Collins. Disciplined people, disciplined thought, disciplined action is built to last. The core themes from all his books that he wrote. So a disciplined life of creation, I've got to be creating, whether it's relationships, whether it's businesses, whether it's ideas, whether it's art. Even enjoy doing that, not too good at it sometimes, play guitar and sing, and I just have a creative element. I got to be creating. Creation, connection, right? I love connecting people, relationships, ideas. I love putting two people together and seeing that blossom. Just a number of them had in the last several weeks, and just hear those texts of what happened. Probably why I helped co-found One-on-One Connections, where we do connections up to 30,000 people now globally. So creation, connection, and learning, right? I'm an everlong learner, always will be, always need to be learning and engaging. I try to put blinders on and not overconsume and execute as well, but I love learning, right? So live a disciplined life of creation, connection, and learning to help myself and others realize their full potential. And I struggle with that back half, right? Because the default is always, let me just help others realize their full potential. But at the end of the day, as we all know, back to the oxygen mask analogy, if we're not square with ourselves, I'm not gonna help anybody else, right? So I've gotta be at a path on realizing my full potential and be fulfilled in where I'm going and my path ahead, right? Doesn't mean I leave everybody aside on that journey, but I can be hyper-focused on helping others realize their full potential, once I'm kind of on that path and clarity, for me. So live a disciplined life of creation, connection, and learning to help myself and others realize our full potential. And going on a journey with others and seeing us all kind of heading down that path, right? So if I'm hitting on all those cylinders, I'm in a good spot in life. So encourage you, if you haven't, and post your comments down below. If you want to hit PMS for personal mission statement, there's this other acronym there. Put it down below, and happy to kind of share additional guide and resources we kind of put together. Love to get your feedback on it. Subscribe and follow below.